My favorite track, well, definitely, my favorite track is Family Feud. Um, this, to me, honestly, is his best album yet. As I said, I am listening to this album on Tidal, which dropped exclusively at midnight for Tidal members only. I'm pretty sure a few of you probably jumped on and got that promotion with Sprint. Signed up for that trial, or some of you probably got the regular 30-day trial. But basically, for the duration of the album, I'm just going to be sitting here talking about random things he mentioned, or, you know. The album is 10 tracks. It's pretty good. He talked about different situations that happened, including some things going on with Kanye, the incident with Solange in the elevator. You know, he didn't dig too deep, but he dug, I guess, deep enough for him, I guess, to get it off his chest. It was a very honest album. This, honestly, I've listened to it a couple times this morning. What actually happened was I reviewed it this morning, but I forgot to click the audio tab when I was recording the review, so I didn't realize until just a few minutes ago that I uploaded the video with no sound. So here we are again. Take two, it's okay, you know. Honestly, I've seen a lot on the internet with people talking about different things, saying this is like his answer to Lemonade, which is, I think, ridiculous, because honestly, the stuff on this album here, they go way back further than Lemonade. You know, they go back to like the 90s, the early 2000s, mid 2000s, you know. So, you know, all that talk about this is the next Lemonade or the answer to Lemonade is just bogus. You know, people that don't know their stuff and they aren't real fans, of course, they're going to say anything. But people that really know Jay-Z, they already know. You know what I'm saying? Like, finally, we got the album that we've been waiting on for the longest, you know. Just because he's 47 don't mean he don't know how to spit a couple bars. You know what I'm saying? He clearly, obviously showed on this here that he can. This next track here, which is the story of OJ, it's pretty good. As you can see here, I'm listening to Tidal. It's actually right here beside me in the window. I just love how he went about the storytelling method. You know, a lot of people nowadays need to tell real stories. You know, they need to actually spit real shit, like they like to say, you know. I definitely enjoyed this album. I feel like he put his all into it, and, you know, it's something to be proud of. You know, it's definitely something to be proud of. I feel like it's about time we got this, because his last album was okay, but I wasn't really checking for it, you know what I'm saying? I've been a Jay-Z fan since I was a little boy in the 90s. So, you know, coming from, what is it, Reasonable Doubt all the way to 444, you know, we've come a long way, you know what I mean? And, you know, if you listen closely to what he's saying, like I said, he addresses everything. Now, me, when I review things, okay, I don't review things in a negative way, because I feel like when a person makes something, they make it the way that they want to make it, because it's theirs. So who am I to come around saying anything negative or saying if I had an issue with anything? You know, it doesn't make sense, you know. So I'm here to just speak all positivity and show support. And I just feel like, I honestly feel like, you know, that's just how I feel, you know. There'll be more reviews and things coming soon. I'm going to sit here, of course, as you guys hear in the background, and listen a little bit of the 444 album. Just kind of take heed, take listen. Yeah, I'll be here the duration of the whole album, so, you know, we can kind of chit-chat for about a good 30 minutes, because the album is a little over half hour. And also, he talks about a lot of things. Responsibility. He talks about everything. You know, he kind of just touched base at everything. He even addressed a little bit of his, you know, infidelities and stuff like that. You know, I really feel like he really did his thing, because this is like, you know, this was pretty serious. If you're gonna make an album like this, you gotta address everything. And a lot of people are just like, why not address it then? Well, you got to think about it. Not every time is the right time. You know, there's a time and place for everything. I guess he felt this was his time. You know what I'm saying? Got 3 kids now. He's married. You know, he's 47. You know, it's time. You know, he said a lot of things. He made a lot of iconic verses with this song too. In his first track, he said, you know, you walk around like you're invincible. You dropped out of school. You lost your principles. I know people backstabbed you. I felt bad too. But this ain't fuck everybody attitude ain't natural. But you ain't the same. This ain't kumbaya. But you got hurt because you think kumbaya. You gave him 20 million without thinking. He gave you 20 minutes on stage. What the fuck was he thinking? You know, so he was, you know, he definitely was touching his bases. You know, he was, you know, dotting his I's and crossing his T's. This next track that's on right now called Smile is also very good as well. And it's really, really, really good. People, you know, and also people will say anything, like I said, you know, so you got to be aware of the reviews and people that are just saying things that haven't even listened to the album yet, you know. Also, speaking of that, after watching this or watching this, you know, make sure you share it, you know, you comment, you know, give some suggestions, you know, some things you want to see me review. I'll be doing more reviews. A lot of older albums too, not just new albums. Just holler at me, share, make sure you subscribe, you know, all that good stuff. I'm not going to sit here and, you know, yell at the screen like some people when they call themselves reviewing or things like that. You know, we just going to sit through the duration of the album. Chill. You know, chill. That's about it. Yeah. That's all you got to do. Sit and chill. You know, you don't have to clap hands. You don't have to talk about, oh, let me spill the tea or this. No, just review an album. Keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? I definitely appreciate this album, because it's not just an album. It's like a story. It's something that's going to resonate more than a week or two. You know, it's something that's deep, you know? And don't be afraid to buy a Tidal subscription. It's the same price as actually a Spotify subscription. You know, they have different tiers, different plans, you know? So that whole ripping music off the internet and bootleg and all of that, you know, that shit don't help nobody. You know, it don't help nobody. It just makes you look even more crazy, you know? Go support the music, you know? If you can spend $9.99 or $10 on, you know, drugs, or $10 on something else crazy, you can spend $10 on a subscription to get you all types of music, you know, because I left after 7 years, you know, being on Spotify to come in the Tidal, and I'm not going back. They got everything that Spotify got, and then some. And then some more, you know. It's really good. The music quality is good, especially the hi-fi. And by the way, like I said, this album is just... I just really, 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 really love the album. I know a lot of people are probably thinking, why just 10 tracks? Well, I mean, when you're speaking the truth, you know, when you're kind of just putting it all out there, you don't need 15 tracks to do it. You know what I'm saying? You just state what you need to state. You don't need no extra features. You don't need, you know, interludes and preludes and outros and, intros, all that extra filler stuff. Just get on, spit your truth, spit your real, and keep moving. You know what I'm saying? We're on track called Smile, by the way, once again. The only people that have any vocals on this album are Frank Ocean, Beyonce, of course, Blue Ivy Knowles, Gloria Carter. They kept it Kim Burrell, but she wasn't. I didn't see her credited unless I saw her in the later notes, but I didn't see her credited on the main. I like how simplistic it was as well. It wasn't the over the top album title or crazy album cover. It was just simply 444. That's it. And honestly, if I had to pick my favorite track, like if I had to, because all of them are my favorite, okay? Because all of them are my favorite. If I was forced to pick one, I would have to say Family Feud is my favorite. That's coming up in a couple tracks. That'll have to be my favorite if I had to choose. And I know some people are going to be on the hype train for a week or two and then hop off. But me, no, this album is to stay. It's here to stay. It was so good that I had to get on and review this album. It was just one of them things, And my real Jay-Z fans will know. Like I said, true Jay-Z fans will understand the album. All the kids, they're going to probably be like, oh, that's whack, that's trash. Yeah, because all y'all know is turning up in the club, smoking this, drinking this, doing this, and y'all don't know real rap, real hip-hop. All y'all know is what y'all see on TV, the image that's being betrayed. But when somebody's speaking some real stuff, everybody turn away. They be like, nah, that's not real music. That ain't fun. Well, everything ain't meant to be turned up, fun, poppin', chilling. You know what I'm saying? It's time to hear some real shit, With somebody who'd have actually been there, done that, done seen it all, I love this album, by the way. I also love the beats because this album was produced by No ID as well as Jay-Z. So when you hear No ID, you're kind of just like, oh man, it's gonna be sick. Like you already know what time it is. You feel what I'm saying? Kind of going through the credits of the album a little more while we're sitting here. I actually go through them a little bit with you guys. Let's see here. The album is, like I said, is a little over 30 minutes. It's 36 minutes and 11 seconds. There's 10 tracks. No ID is a long time producer, by the way. He's been producing for a little minute. And No ID is always a bomb. You already know. He's just a bomb. That's all I can say. Of course, there's a lot of samples on the album, a lot of older songs that you can hear in the beats. So you got songs sampled from Stevie Wonder. You got songs sampled by, Lil Nina Simone. Like it's just a lot, You got Beyonce on the track in the background because all the people that are featured are mostly like the backgrounds. So it's not like they have like a verse in the song. It's not like a typical song like that. But Damian Marley, of course, he's on the track as well. Sister Nancy sampled. It's a lot. And And also Blue Ivy at the beginning of the last track, you know, asking a question. Of course, the album is marketed by Roc Nation, which, you know, of course, is Jay-Z. So you already know he getting his money back. If you already know the money he spent to make it, he's going to get it right back. You know, you put your album exclusively on your own streaming site, you know. So you already know he's making bank, you know. You already know he's making bank, you know. Everybody's still waiting on that. Everybody's still waiting on like a collaboration album between him and Beyonce, which probably won't happen for a while. You know what I'm saying? Beyonce just had her kids, and he just brought an album out. You know, the time gotta be right for all that. But in the meantime, we could take the Jay-Z album. You know. But you know, really, I want to hear Kanye's response to what Jay-Z mentioned in track 1 about him. So more than like, we'll end up hearing that in the album from Kanye. Whenever he brings his album out, which if it ain't this year, it'll probably be next year. But we'll see, you know. And like I said, when I review stuff, I don't have to talk and review the whole time, you know. You just kind of sit back and chill, you know. Hear the music in the background and just chill out a little bit. I love how Jay-Z like apologized to Beyonce for his infidelity in this track 444. You know, I just like how people own up to this stuff, you know. And by the way, the track before this was called Caught Their Eyes, and that's the one that featured Frank Ocean in the background. He kept it really simple with the album, like I said. He kept it really simple, so. And you know, it's nothing better than a person that's going to admit their faults, you know? Not just admit them, but like admit them and then do better, you know? I tell people it's never too late to, you know, do better, do good, you know? But, you know, a lot of people were saying that he was making a response to this album, but this album isn't even supposed to be a response to anything. It's just him being a man, owning up to his stuff, you know what I'm saying? I love the direction of this album and the flow. I love it. It's just like he just, man, it's fire. You don't really hear too many like rappers really making like real life albums like this. You know, you hear him making a bunch of, you know, wannabe sad or wannabe confessional albums, but like he's speaking on shit that's really happening. We've seen a few of the incidents, you know, including the stabbing, the supposed cheating, you know, the Kanye issues, you know, different things like that. So for us to finally get the insight after all this time means a lot. It means a lot. This is my favorite track, Family Feud. And one of the main reasons I love this track is because of the way the chorus was sang in the background. It felt like a gospel track, you know. Like I never knew that you know, Beyonce still had it. You know, I never knew he still had it. I never knew it. When I heard in that background, I was like, but I will say one thing, you guys: support music, stream it, buy it, as long as you don't rip it off from the internet. You know, I honestly feel like sites like Tidal and a bunch of other sites, they're the result of that. You feel what I'm saying? People ripping off stuff and doing stuff, you know what I'm saying? You don't make no money. You can't make no money. You can't give people what they want if you don't got no money to work with because everybody busy stealing the money. You know what I'm saying? By doing their little piracies and, you know, go support it, you know? Jay-Z said, what's one better than $1 billionaire? Two. You know what I'm saying? That's classic Jay-Z, bro. I just love when people sing and rap together on a good, perfect track, you know. I definitely love stuff like that. Now, I can hear this track all day and night. I can play it until Tidal tell me that's enough. You feel what I'm saying? Like, when people make legendary stuff, you know, and a lot of the young artists need to take notes. They really need to take notes because stuff like this, perfect. Now, there was a lot of hits that came out this year. Speaking on that, you had, of course, the Biggie and Faith duet album, Finally, The King and I, and then you had a lot of good pop albums. You had Mary come out, you had LaToya. You know, you had a lot of good albums come out this year. You know, a lot of music, you know what I'm saying? And I really appreciate him for sticking true to him, you know. Throughout the years, we saw different sides of Jay-Z, but for us to see, this, you know, Jay-Z come back after all this time, to see Sean Carter, you know, start the show back again, you know. I love it. Love that track. Love it. Now, the next track coming up is actually entitled Bam, and that's the track with Damian Marley. That's track number 7. The tracks aren't too long, which is good because you ain't got to worry about sitting down and be like, oh, here go a 5-minute track. Here go a 6-minute track. Nah, son. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. Keeps it short and simple. I like the track Bam, by the way. And you know, he can rap really, really well. I like how he says, you know, I can't take no threats. I got a set of twins. You know, he just made that track. He recently made that one. You know, you can kind of hear what's been recorded, and then you can kind of tell the difference between that and like the new stuff. You know. I just really like how you can bop with it. You know. 47 brings bringing out a track project like that. It's just pretty cool, you know. Speaking on his mom, you know, coming out as being, you know, a lesbian, and you know, it's cheating, and his strained relationship with Kanye, like I mentioned, it's good, you know. And also, if you're a Tidal subscriber, you know he brought out like a little animated video of the story of OJ that's on Tidal. It's a really good album, though. This is a crazy album, though. I just love how he be making like iconic verses. Y'all think that a lot of people nowadays, they think that like stuff that these other artists, you know, I don't want to say no names, but these other artists that be saying like these different verses, y'all think are iconic. But when y'all hear real life stuff and it's made into iconic verses or phrases or quotes, it feels way different. You know, it gets way deeper. It cuts way deeper in a good way. You know. I just hope he makes another one like this, you know. Who knows? You know, they may all make a response to this. Everybody, I guess, that he may have mentioned that make music, they may all make a response. Who knows? We have yet to find out, you know what I mean? Man, this album is just legendary, man. And to all the people that are reviewing the album, whether you're on YouTube or wherever else, honestly reviewing it and not just being biased or, you know, giving opinions, for the people that are really reviewing it, I want to thank y'all. And also not just this, but any albums or any kind of music, you know, honestly and nicely, the right way. I appreciate y'all. You know, rather than the ones that talk down or have something negative to say because they think that's going to get them follows or things or shares and stuff like that and get them famous. It's really not. You know, it gives you a bad rep. This track that's playing now is called Moonlight. No, it's not based off the movie either. And neither was Family Feud based off the show either, but you know. He also took a shot at a few more things as well. But you got to kind of just listen through. It's kind of like almost like a puzzle, almost. You got to kind of like take the lyrics and pick them all apart, you know, and think back to, you know, dang, you know, what happened with this? Who had a problem? Then you got to go back through and be like, oh man, like that's what he talking about. Like, dang. But the album is definitely legendary. Jay-Z said, don't talk about guns if you ain't gonna use them. You know what I'm saying? He'd be like, y'all be telling on y'all self. He'd be like, I'm so confused. It'd be so funny though, like, you know. It was funny, like, Jay-Z be trying to school people. You know what I'm saying? He be trying to school them, let them know, and they just be missing it. You know what I mean? They just be missing it. This album is the bomb. Like, listening to it right now, I'm just like, I just want to go there personally and be like, bro, like I just want to just, you know, I just want to thank him. You know what I'm saying? So, I just want to thank him. The track that's playing now is called Marcy Me. Now, y'all real fans that been rocking with him for a long time. Y'all already know. I ain't even gotta explain that. Y'all already know. You know? When I listen to this album, I try to think back to when the last time I played a Jay-Z album and didn't have to skip all the way through, and didn't have to skip through it, you know? And this is the one that I think this is the only one I didn't have to skip through. This is the only one. Everybody may have their different opinions, but I know for a fact this is the only one I have not had to skip through at all. I feel like if I skip through it, I'm going to miss something. You know, like, you're not going to get the full 444 effect. And I got my headphones on, of course, because, like I said, I don't want to play it in the speaker and, you know, have it overpower my voice and then YouTube just kind of go crazy. Because y'all know how YouTube is with music and everything like that. So it's just best to just kind of just... It's just best to just, like, you know, put it in your headphones and, you know, cut it on low and just, you know, review it like that. And I like how when he sampled the music that he used, it ain't like how a lot of people doing nowadays when they be sampling stuff. Y'all know they be, like, sampling stuff and... like, the samples don't be sounding right. They be trying to remix it and mess it up. But him, like, you would think that how he sampled it and put the beats with the words, you would think that that was the original song in a way, you know? It doesn't sound like something completely different than what it's meant to sound like, you know? At all, you know? The real music. At first, I was a little... for a minute, I had my low confidence down because I was like, man, we done lost real music. But, you know, hearing this and hearing, like I said, hearing those other classics this year and many others that I did not mention, that gives you hope for music, you know? It kind of makes you feel good, you know? Now, this last track, the last and final track is called Legacy. And it kind of talks about him just leaving his legacy behind, you know? Let them know how he want everything to be when he here, when he ain't here. You know, for the kids and everything in his other family, you know, makes sense. Self-explanatory. Legacy, you know? I really, really like it, though. I love it. And also, it's best to show appreciation to artists when they're here rather than when they leave like that. You know, I don't understand that concept, you know? So, I don't understand that concept, you know? I just like the track, yo. It's smooth. Man, it's an album you just wish like had a part 2, you know, like a 444 part 2, or, you know, the Lost Files or some unreleased shit, you know. It's smooth, yo. I get an album a 10 out of 10, 5-star. It just addressed everything, you know. An album that addressed everything works, you know. It works. And I tell people, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's exactly what Jay-Z did. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So therefore, you know, yeah. He did what he loves. You know what I'm saying? So, this really northern sounding like I love as well too. You know, it's got that. What's that word? It's got that. You know, New York feel because that's where he's from, of course. But I like how he tries to preserve that with his music too. You know, because a lot of them now they trying to do everybody else sound. You know, they ain't trying to do that New York sound. They trying to do that you know, what's your city sound? You know, let me do something over there and see if I can get a little, you know. So, but yo, that was my review for 444. You know, I just want to thank y'all for sticking in. If y'all watched the whole thing, if y'all started in from halfway, whatever, you know, thank you. There'll be more reviews coming soon. Like I said, subscribe, comment, like, give me some suggestions. You know, let me know I'm here. You know, follow the Twitter, whatever like that. You know, just let me know. You know, I'll be back. 444. It's awesome. Thank you.